Hello friends, how you doing? JJ, welcome to another video from the series American English, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's keep going quick because this is gonna be a little long video, okay? So I'm going to keep talking about the ways to express como, the Spanish word como en cuanto for most amigos from Portugal, or Brazil, who speak the same language. So they are really similar in English, in Spanish and in Portuguese, okay? So this video is going to be a little long, okay? So let's roll out, okay? Estou a praticar o meu português, por isso perdoo os meus erros, okay, my friends? So I'm going to do my best with my Portuguese. Okay, vou dar o meu melhor com o meu português. Tenho samples com os seus significados português para que possa adaptá-los à sua língua. Alguns significados podem ser apenas uma adaptação. Ok, my friends? Well, doing my Portuguese. And well, voy a dar también significados en español, carnales, para aquellos que lo necesiten, ¿verdad? Bueno, porque estamos también trabajando en español, entonces vámonos de volada, carnales. Bien, entonces, aquí, ¿qué pasó? Espérenme tantito, denme un momentito, tengo un problema con la pantalla. Permítame. Okay, friends, I'm back. Thank you. I just fixed my little issue here. Okay, well, I want to say this in English and Spanish, a little Portuguese, okay? How do we express como in English? What? How do we express the word como in English? I'm fixing languages, But today I'm going to focus on the word as. Me voy a enfocar hoy, carnales, a la palabra as, ok, que significa, como pueden ver aquí en la pantalla, tiene varios significados, ok, anoche me la pasé haciendo esto para ustedes. Entonces, vamos a empezar, ok, well, let's go switch to English. So first of all, I have 21 results here for all of you, as you can see. So from 1 to 14 are, meanings, and from number 15 to 21, where they are collocations, okay? So number 1, first use for us is to agree with a statement, concordar con algo en portugués, to emphasize something that is known, para enfatizar algo que es conocido, para enfatizar algo que es conocido. Comparison, but in this case it's for actions, okay? Para comparar acciones, to compare actions. Because as sometimes works as because, another way to say because. I will explain this one in a moment. In the position of, en posición de, na posición de, to function as, funcionar como, para funcionar como. Unreal situation, okay? This is for unreal situation, situación real, situación real, as known as. This is something that you might know, aka, for example, we can say he is JJ, aka the bilingual of the radio, or whatever, Conocido como conocido como, as for, en cuanto a en portugués, as from now. In this case, I have a mistake, is as of now, sorry, as of now, not as from now. I got a typo there, as of now. A partir de ahora, a partir de agora. Another use is as plus adjective plus as plus complement. In Spanish is like tanto, or tan, or tanta, tal bom quanto in Portuguese, such a or such an, according to the way the word starts. In Spanish, estar bien or tal. Like, in this case, I want to say something. In Español, estar bien is like, estar bien no es el significado literal, por eso lo puse entre comillas. It's like very, and same for Portuguese, for Portuguese. Para mis amigos fala português, okay, tal is like muy, okay, muito, I think I'm going to check it out in a moment, okay, such as, it's really different from such, tal como, tales como, tais como, okay, as, when we use it as when or while, sometimes you can use as like when or while, cuando, mientras, cuando, en cuanto, okay. And well, I have some collocations here, like, I'm sorry, as long as to talk about a condition, as long as to express emphasis about time, price, distance, as well at the end of a sentence, like, it means like también, and I'm sorry for my phone, I'm gonna just turn down the volume, here we go. Okay, and as well as, different meanings, as well and as well as, totally different, también, como, también, cuanto. as usual, this is a collocation, como de costumbre, también cuanto de costumbre, portugués, as usual, como de, I'm sorry, I got this one, ASAP, as soon as possible, you know, tan pronto como sea posible, o lo más breve posible, portugués, o más breve posible, okay? And well, I have a collocation here, do as I say, haz lo que digo, faça o que eu digo, okay? So this video is going to have two parts, okay, because it's a little long. Now, I want you to check all the meanings, and I have some formulas here for all of you. Chequen las fórmulas, okay, para que veamos cómo va funcionando, okay? And well, now I'm going to get some examples, all right? If you have questions, please send me a message. Okay, I have the examples in English and Portuguese. For Spanish speaker, I'm going to say this in Spanish, okay? Eu vou falar português nos exemplos, okay? As you just said, I think that's the best option in Spanish. Bueno, como acabas de decir, creo que es la mejor opción. Português, como disseste, acho que é a melhor opção. Well, as they said, this is better. Bien, bueno, como acaban de decirlo ellos, esto es mejor. Português, bem, como disseram, isto é melhor. Isto é melhor. Isto é melhor, sorry. Okay, so I have examples here about the first use. You know, the examples are separated. So, for example, the first group, the first two examples correspond to the first use. The next examples here, the next two examples correspond to the second use. Okay, so let's go to the second example. I mean, first example, to agree with a statement. So that's why I typed these examples. Okay, in these two examples, the person or the people who are speaking, whatever, they express that they agree with something. Okay, I can say, you know, like as in this case, could be or could work as also, también in Portuguese, también in español, you know, so it's another way to say I agree. You know, for example, imagine a person says, well, this is the best option, and you can say, well, yeah, I agree, or I think so, or you can say, well, as you said, I think that's the best option. You know, so there are many ways to say this in English. You know, I mean, in English, there are different ways to say the same. Sometimes they are like just the daily way to say it, the colloquial way, the informal way, or a really formal way. You know, it's, for example, if I say to this guy, hey, this guy tells me, hey, I love cappuccino, you know, and I say, well, me too. Okay, I can say me too. Or I can say, I do too. Or I can say, so do I. Or I can say, as do I. You know, you can also use as to express agreement. I mean, this is what we're doing in the first example, but another way, okay? So this is just examples, and I mean, you know, sometimes your language can be a little different. So as I said at the beginning, you know, some of the meanings of these phrases can just be adaptation, sorry, okay? So let's keep going. Okay, let's talk about the second use, which is to emphasize something that is known. Okay, sometimes people say to go in the future, in the past, something that was said, you know, but I mean, it's kind of confusing. So, as you know, this is my last day. So, como ya lo saben, como ya lo sabes, este es mi último día. Así que, como sabe, este é o meu último dia. Então, you know, so as you can see, we take our work seriously here. Como pueden ver, tomamos nuestro trabajo seriamente aquí. Como puede ver, levamos o nosso trabalho a sério. Okay, as you can see, this is a little weird. Como pueden ver, esto es está un poquito loco. Como pueden ver, é um pouco crazy, I'm going to say so. I forgot the word crazy in Portuguese. Okay, so Let's go to the next examples. Now, next examples are related to comparison. Okay, in this case, watch it, okay? In number 3, comparison, but this is for actions. Now, let me tell you something. You can use like to talk about comparisons as well. Oh, you heard that? I said as well. I can say also. You know, as well is another way to say también, también, or also, or to. So, for example, in the other video, I was explaining that we can use like to compare, you know, for example, when I said, I'm like your sister. I'm like your sister. Soy como tu hermana, you know. And I can say, hey, you look like a Martian, man, like a Martian. You look like a clown. In this kind of comparison, I'm just comparing, you know, I'm just comparing people, person with person, two people. But in the case of us, when we use this to compare, we don't compare person to person. We compare people's actions. Okay. So for example, here, she sings as her father used to do it. So be careful here. When you use as for comparison, you have to use auxiliary at the end. I mean, you could say, you know, she sings like her father. That's totally fine, you know, but the meaning is different. In this case, you are just comparing two people, the father and the daughter, father and daughter, you know. But in this case, when you say she sings as her father used to do it, you are comparing two people's action. En este caso, estás comparando las acciones de dos personas, ¿sí? Voy a decir en español rápidamente. Like lo ocupas para comparar, pero solo comparas a dos personas. As lo ocupas para comparar las acciones de las personas. Y debes terminar la frase cuando tienes as con un auxiliar. Ok, aquí puedo decir, she sings as her father used to. Y está excelente, no tengo que decir used to do it, no es necesario. Ok, entonces en español sería, ella canta como su padre solía hacerlo. Si ocupamos like, si digo, she sings like her father, entonces aquí sería, ella canta como su padre. Pero si digo, she sings as her father used to, ella canta como su padre solía hacerlo. No, el significado es muy similar, realmente los dos son para comparar. Pero en inglés recuerden que tenemos algunas cuestiones que son más profundas que otras. En este caso, like compara sujetos, as compara acciones de los sujetos, ¿ok? En portugués, canta como o pai costumava cantar. Okay, so remember, we compare actions with us. Second example, my dog sings as yours does. So in this case, I'm comparing the way my dog sings and the way your dog sings. I'm not comparing the dogs. I'm comparing what the dogs do, you know, what the dogs do, which is singing. Okay. So I can say my dog sings like yours. That's totally fine. But in this case, my dog sings as yours does. Mi perro canta como el tuyo canta, o como lo hace el tuyo. Meu cão canta como o seu canta. Okay, watch this. My daughter sings as my grandma does. A minha filha canta como a minha avó canta. Mi hija canta como mi abuela canta, o como mi abuela lo hace. En el español es muy usual, ¿sale? Pero recuerden que el inglés de repente se vuelve muy técnico, entonces sí es importante que veamos la diferencia. Okay, so I'm going back to English. Let's go to examples about because. Okay, this is not really, you know, really common in daily speaking, I might say. I mean, when you want to speak really formal, well, it's okay. So for example, next examples are as well, for us as because, you know, for us as because. So I'm using this function as. Okay. So as I didn't feel good, I decided not to go to work. Como no me sentía bien, decidí no ir a trabajar. O porque no me sentía bien, decidí no ir a trabajar. Como no me sentía bien, decidí no ir a trabajar. Okay, I'm doing my best in Portuguese, friends. Okay, so as they didn't reply, I couldn't finish this. Because they didn't reply, I couldn't finish this. And here you can change the order. You can change, because in this case, we are using clauses, okay? You can say, I decided not to go to work, comma, as I didn't feel good. You can say, I couldn't finish this, comma, as they didn't reply. Or you can say, I decided not to go to work because I didn't feel good. I couldn't finish this because they didn't reply. So as you can see in this, and you heard that, I said, as you can see. As you know, this is my last day. As you can see, como puedes ver. As you can listen, como puedes escuchar. So, you know, I'm using a lot as for the example too, as emphasize something. Okay, so as you can see, in this case, as works as because. Okay, this is a kind of formal speaking, you know, but it's native speaking, you know, but not really common, I might say. All right, so let's keep going. So, next examples. In the position of, en posición de, na posição de. In this case, for example, when you say this, I'm gonna just move this a little bit. Okay, scroll down. As your father, I ask you not to do that. In the position of, because I'm your father, so as your father, I have the authority. I'm your father. You have to respect me. Okay, so as your father, I ask you not to do that. Como tu padre que soy, diremos en español, te pido que no hagas eso. Como teu pai, peço-te que não faças isso. Não faças isso. I'm sorry. Faças. I forgot to seal it. Okay. As your best friend, I suggest you to go. Como tu mejor amigo que soy, te sugiero que vayas. Como teu melhor amigo, sugiro que vas. Okay. So in this case, for example, I can say, as your English teacher, I ordered you to practice a lot. And I'm just saying, imagine you have a brother, you are the older brother, and you say, hey boy, as your older brother, I ordered you to do the dishes. Not a good example. Como tu hermano mayor soy, te ordeno que laves los trastes. You know, just saying. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Okay, next examples about to function as. To function as. Actually, number 5 and number 6 are similar. Okay, funcionar como, para funcionar como. Okay, let's go here. Okay, I used my shoe as a hammer and I broke it. Imagine you didn't have a hammer, so you had to hit a nail, you know? So you grab your shoe and you start hitting the nail and you use your shoe as a hammer. You didn't have a hammer. So, usé mi zapato como martillo o a manera de martillo. En español digamos como martillo, como un martillo y lo rompí. Usei o meu zapato como martelo e partiu. Okay? Use this as a screwdriver. Imagine you don't have a screwdriver, so you need to move a screw, you know? So you just say, okay, use this as a screwdriver. Usa esto a manera de desarmador o usa esto como desarmador. Okay? Usei isto como chave de fendas in Portuguese. All right? Good. Next example, friends. Where are we? Okay, number 7, unreal situation. As if plus verb in past. Situación irreal. Situação irreal. Okay, so let's go. Okay, I want to emphasize this. You know, native speakers, sometimes, you know, we make mistakes. Sometimes native speakers mix like and as, and, you know, I'm just telling you this because maybe you listen to grammar, you are watching this video, maybe you know about this, and someday you go to United States or whatever where they speak English, and you listen a guy saying, for example, this one, number 3. He's shopping like there's no tomorrow. Okay, it's not the one I have here, but you could listen to this. He's shopping like there's no tomorrow. It's wrong, but acceptable. You know, so sometimes native speakers, we make these kind of mistakes. Okay, so don't worry too much, but you have to handle this and you have to master. So And real situations, in this case, I want to tell you something. You will always use the verb in past. This is like the second conditional, okay? Unreal situations. For example, when you say, well, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. You don't say, if I was you. You can say, if I was you, I wouldn't do it, or I wouldn't do that. However, it's incorrect. It's like the informal way. The correct way for second conditional is always, if I were you. Okay, so I will explain that in another moment. So, you look as if you had seen a ghost. Te ves como si hubieras visto un fantasma. Parece que vio un fantasma. They act as if it were their last time together. Ellos actúan como si fuera su última vez juntos. Agem como si fuese la última vez que estaban juntos. Okay? So, this is the way we say it. He's shopping as if there were no tomorrow. Está comprando como si no hubiera mañana. You know, he's desperate, está desesperado. Está a fazer compras como si no houvesse amanhã. Okay? So this is unreal situations. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I got more examples for you. So, AKA, this is easy. When you are reading something and you see AKA, well, you know it's as known as conocido como conocido como. So, examples, really quick. Dwayne Johnson, as known as The Rock, is a nice guy. Dwayne Johnson, mejor conocido como La Roca, está en español, o conocido como La Roca, en este caso puede ser mejor conocido como La Roca, es un tipo amable o sociable, agradable, dije, ¿no? Dwayne Johnson, conocido como a pedra, é um tipo de carro, ok? Wolves hunt in groups known as packs. In this case, example is different, but it doesn't say as known as, but you can just say sometimes known as, conocidos como. So, los lobos cazan en grupos conocidos como manadas. Lobos cazan en grupos conocidos como matilhas. Sodium chloride is more commonly known as salt. El cloruro de sodio es más comúnmente conocido como sal. O cloreto de sodio é mais conhecido como sal. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. As for. En cuanto a, or en portugués, quanto a. Okay, I had a good trip. As for my brother, who was bitten by a viper, I don't know. Yo tuve un buen viaje. En cuanto a mi hermano, quien fue mordido por una serpiente, no lo sé. En español, as for lo vas a adoptar como en cuanto a, en ese sentido. No es muy usual, no se dice así en el español, pero en cuanto a, o en lo que se refiere a, podría ser también así adaptado en español, en lo que se refiere a mi hermano, no, también puede ser así. Ok, português, fiz uma boa viagem. Quanto ao meu irmão, foi mordido por uma víbora, no sei. Okay, so just one example here. Okay, now let's talk about as from now. Okay, a little mistake here. It's as of now. I'm sorry. A partir de ahora. A partir de agora. Okay, as of now. Oh, I fixed it here. Yeah, you see. Hey, as of now, it's the same as saying from now on. It's the same meaning. Okay, it's like, for example, when you say although or though, which is aunque, same meaning. Okay, or for example, when you say in fact, or as a matter of fact, or actually, 3 sentences which mean de hecho. Okay, so as of now, you must show your ID when entering the premises. A partir de ahora debes mostrar tu identificación cuando entres en las instalaciones. Português, a partir de agora, deve mostrar a sua identificação ao entrar no local. Okay, next examples, next use is, okay, as plus adjective plus as plus complement. This is the meaning, or this means tanto or tanto, tabum, quanto. I want to say something here. In this case, when we use this, it's like a meaning of sometimes like very. I'm going to explain this. So for example, in this case, we are comparing actually this formula, I'm going to go back. This is number 11. We are working on number 11, as plus adjective plus as plus complement. This is another way to compare things, okay? For example, you say, my house is not as big as yours. Mi casa no es tan grande como la tuya. You are comparing, but in this case, you have to say as. You have to use adjective. My house is not as big as yours. You have to use an adjective. Mi casa no es tan grande como la tuya. Minha casa não é tão grande como a sua. Okay? Our dog is as big as a horse. You're comparing the size of your dog with the size of a horse. So adjective here. Nuestro perro es grande como un caballo. Okay? In Portuguese, we would say, o nosso cão é grande como um cavalo. Next example. I'm not as good as you at speaking Portuguese. This is real. I'm not as good as you at speaking Portuguese. No soy tan bueno como tú hablando portugués o en el portugués o con el portugués. Não sou tão bom como tu a falar português, because I'm not Portuguese, Eu estou a praticar o meu português. Okay, good. So next example. Such a or an. Okay, en español, estar bien, no literalmente, esto es como decir muy. In Portuguese, tal. For example, I'm going to say this. You are such a genius. Eres un genio. Sometimes, algunas veces en el español, such, en este caso, cuando es solamente such a o such an, no se traduce, simplemente es como un enfatizador, lo voy a decir de esa forma. It just emphasizes what you want to say. So you are such a genius. Eres un genio. Es un genio. Okay? You are such a dumbass. Está burro. En español, esta frase sería como, estás bien pendejo. Ok, así lo voy a decir. Por eso, si se dan cuenta aquí, dije estar bien. Sí, en este caso, como se dice en el español, estás bien pendejo, ¿no? Por ejemplo, si quiere decir a alguien, estás bien güey, ¿no? Es prácticamente lo mismo. You are such a dumbass. You are such a dumb. You are such a moron, whatever. Okay? It can be positive or negative. You're such a beautiful girl. Eres una niña tan hermosa. O eres una mujer tan hermosa. Es una rapariga tan bonita. Okay? So that's why I say, por eso dije que en el español puede ser tan, tanto, tanta, o simplemente puede ser como muy, de repente, ¿ok? O estar bien y le agregamos, si es posible, el muy, ¿no? ¿Ok? Pretty good. So, let's keep going. Para terminar, porque son varios ejemplos, voy a hacer segunda parte. Such as. Such as, a diferencia de such a o such an, significa tal o tales como. In Portuguese, tais como. Okay? This is to offer, to explain or to give examples about something that you're talking about. Okay? And for the last thing, as, when we use it in substitution of when or while. Okay? Let's go to the examples. Let's keep going. So, for example here, fruit and other foods such as meat, fish and eggs boost serotonin. La fruta y otros alimentos tales como la carne, el pescado y los huevos resaltan la serotonina, ok? Frutas e outros alimentos como carne, peixe e ovos impulsionam a serotonina, ok? The explanation is very simple. In circumstances just such as this. La explicación es muy simple en circunstâncias tales como estas. A explicação é muito simples em circunstâncias como esta. We wanted the freedom to sign trade deals with all friends such as India and Australia. Queremos la libertad de firmar acuerdos con viejos amigos tales como India y Australia. Queríamos a liberdade de assinar acordos comerciais com velhos amigos como Índia e Austrália. Okay, I'm practicing my Portuguese, doing my best in Portuguese, friend, okay? Okay, and the last examples, when we use as in substitution of while or when, okay? So for example, number 1, as I was driving, I saw a bear on the road. Mientras estaba manejando, vi un oso en el camino. Mientras manejaba, vi un oso en el camino. In this case, we use gerund, past continuous, because we use while. So remember, for example, when you use present or past continuous, past continuous actually, you talk about two simultaneous actions. For example, my wife was cooking while I was teaching. Two simultaneous actions. Okay, that's why in this case we can say that as is in substitution of while, and we use past continuous. Okay, enquanto conduzia, vi urso na estrada. In the second example, we are using as in substitution of when. So as we slept, it started to rain. Cuando dormíamos, empezó a llover. En cuanto dormimos, começou a chover. All right? You can say it started to rain when we slept. It's also the same meaning, okay? As I got home, she left. Quando cheguei a casa, fui-se embora. Cuando llegué a casa, ella se fue. Okay? Turn off the lights as you go out. Apague as luzes ao sair. Apaga las luces cuando salgas. Apaga las luces cuando te vayas. Okay? In this case, some teachers say it's two actions, turn off the lights and go out. And in the last example, as I got home, she left. I got home and she left, two actions. So that's kind of the way you can remember. Okay? Well, and I'm doing this as easy as possible for you. Estoy haciendo esto tan fácil posible, o lo más fácil posible para ustedes. Estou a fazer isto o mais fácil possível para ti. Okay, friends? Well, that's it. If you have examples, I think I'm going to split this video. I don't know how many minutes I got in this video. Well, it doesn't matter. So this is the second part. I'm going to make another part of this video because I think it's like 20 minutes or so. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope the explanations are clear. Okay, remember, visit realenglish.com and get your free session. Recuerden visitar realenglish.com y obtengan su sesión gratuita. Okay, visita agora realenglish.com, meus amigos. Okay, and well, that's it for today, friends. Thank you very much. See you next time. I think tomorrow I will get the second part for you. See you later, my friends. Até logo, meus amigos. Nos vemos com canales. Bye bye.